Gamer Feed Radio.
Welcome, everybody out there in podcast land. This is Gamer Feed Radio, the Grampies edition. Woo! With special intro music and all that fun stuff. You will be shocked and thrilled to know that, yes, we're in fact still here, and I'm sure you're going, dear Christ, why? When you get the little notice on your phone that says we recorded a show for the first time in a millennium. But we're back, and I mean all of us for the love of all that is good and holy. Yeah. I'm your host, Nick Delacave, and I'm joined this evening by three complete nincompoops. All of us together somehow managed to corkscrew together a microphone for Kyle.
Only took 20 minutes?
It only took 20 minutes. My God, we have the technology. I'm joined today by the one and only David Newbed. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going?
He's here. And joining him, not terribly far away, and texting maniacally in the background to his amiibo dealer, one Brad Wallace, who I'm told took a Valium before the show. What's up, man?
This is true. What's going on? What?
Ambien? What?
What
Xanax? What? Cocktail combo?
Good to be back.
And long, but not lost or forgotten, returning from the music strip. I'm not sure where the stripping takes place, but it's Kyle Pope.
Woo! Hey, what's up?
Yeah, those aviators. Get some, son.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. You guys should come out sometime.
Creep you on Facebook, I do. So, as I said, in case the music at the top didn't throw you, or my announcement that this was the Grampies, and in case you are completely clueless, like Newman is, as to what that means, way back in the annals of Gamerfeed Radio antiquity, we created a year in review award show that we affectionately refer to as the Grampies. Now, at the time, it was just that play on the stupid Atari joystick old school controller, which we did use in our very first and only, now infamous, Smash Brothers tournament, where we actually got an Atari controller and turned it into a trophy and like mounted it and put a plaque on it and stuff. It was crazy. Back when apparently we had a lot of money to burn. But anyway, not no mo. But anyway, Grampies is just, it's the old controller from Atari days. We call it Grandpa, or at least Rob Pugh did. And then we adopted it, and we said, hey, how can we make this punny? Because it wouldn't be radio or airwaves or entertaining if it wasn't punny. I don't know. Anyway, Grampies is the awards. And so we have a variety of content to cover with you, all from 2016.
Woo!
As soon as I find the damn window. There it is. Oh, my God. Okay, good. So, first up, everybody's got to kind of put on their thinking caps because, you know, we slam these things together in, like, the absolute last possible second because we're so busy. But 2016 had a lot of first-person shooters. And by a lot, I mean a lot. So,
too much.
Pretty much too many. So there were a bunch. Anybody have any opinions on what they think the best first-person shooter is?
Overwatch.
I have. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, I actually haven't even spent time with Overwatch, but the only shooter I played any amount of was Doom, and I thought Doom was brilliant, and it was just like super fast-paced. It was like everything you want from a first-person shooter campaign. Yeah, like buttery smooth. Oh my God, playing it on like a high-end PC is like the coolest thing. Not my own PC. I've played it with Newman and I played it with Jim, friend of the show.
Yes, Jim.
But yeah, that's the only shooter I really have played this year. I didn't play Overwatch at all. I know I would like Overwatch, which is why I don't want to play it, because I know I'd get sucked in and it would eat up everything in my life. So
yeah, I got to give it to Overwatch over Doom, just comparing the amount of time I've spent on it.
Well, I think by all accounts, I think Overwatch is kind of an obvious answer here. But what else does anyone else think?
Anybody else?
I played Battlefield, but I wasn't too impressed.
Battlefield 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these shooters nowadays, it's just everything's kind of formulaic. Yeah, it really is. And so you get something like Overwatch that like really kind of breaks the mold for that kind of thing. So I mean that'd be my obvious answer. Overwatch. I've played it a couple of times. I enjoy it. I haven't played as much as I want to because same reason for Brad. If I do, I have no life.
Anyway, it's like super addicting.
And I mean, I already got enough shit going on in my life, so I mean, I don't need another thing to just waste all my time.
Exactly, right?
Oh,
And-
there's so much time wasting, so much.
I mean,
So much.
I've already wasted a lot of my time on another game that I'll get to later, but yeah, I mean, it's just Overwatch is great. I love the concept. The culture is really, really cool and often creepy. But you know, it's a big thing, and I mean, good on Blizzard for kind of putting their own touch on a type of game that really has been suffering lately, in my opinion.
Yeah, they needed to do
definitely.
something because, you know, Blizzard was... I mean, WoW, they had Legion or whatever come out earlier this year, and you could only play that old chestnut for so long before she literally crumples in the fire. I have to tell you, though, Brad, having played Doom, aside from the fact that it is truly the most buttery smooth, amazing experience, and super gory and hyper-realistic textures and graphics and all that crap. I mean, it really was a technological feat. However, I put some time into Overwatch myself, unfortunately. Thanks, Newman. And, you know, that damn game, it's just good. Yeah. I mean, you know, and then you're like, you get mad and butthurt and you want to quit and you chuck the controller at the TV, not punch the TV like other co-hosts of the show. But I mean, really get angry, but then you're like, the next round, that stupid, you know, fanfare plays, and you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get everybody, I'm ready. It is the dumbest. It's so dumb. You're just like, I'm gonna do it, and then you get mad at the same guy who wrecks you in one hit. Roadhog is a dick. Okay, that stupid hook before they nerfed it.
The hook, though.
Oh, I'm so glad they nerfed that bastard. And then Bastion, I guess, is getting the big chop.
Yeah, I guess on Tuesday, whenever they do the new update. It's already on the PTR, but I never get on the PTR.
Yeah. And the fact that they, frankly, have that, right? I mean, they're out there. They let you play stuff in advance. They're very communicative to the community, which is not... I mean, everybody tries to do it, but not everybody's very successful at it, so good on them.
Yeah.
So if we had
I wish they would fix the loot box issue, though.
What's wrong with it?
The event loot boxes, you get like 2 things from the event in each one.
Yeah.
And they add like hundreds of items. So if there's 2 skins in this event that I want. But
Well,
I'm gonna have to find like
buy some if you're unhappy with your chances.
I'm going to have to, but I've only got enough to buy one because they're all 3,000.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We could all just move to China where they're demanding Blizzard tell you at the top what your chances are each time you push the loot button box open thing. Ignorant. Hey, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a lot of Overwatch, some Doom. There were a lot of other games, but honestly, who cares? Because they happened. Some of them were there. They fizzled out. Some of them no one really cares about, or oldies but goodies that have just persisted with updates in 2016. But I think, am I hearing general consensus? Overwatch gets votes?
Overwatch.
Okay, wait, I got a sound effect for that.
Sweet.
Yay! Okay, so I thought it was
the sound
great.
effect, or
Yeah, well, you don't get to hear the sound
We can't
effects.
hear anything.
Yeah, you get to hear nothing. And that's why you have to go back and listen to the stupidity. Okay, the next category is Best RPG. Oh, Kyle, what's your opinion?
Oh boy. Here we go. You know what? This is gonna sound so bad. Pokemon Sun, man.
Whoa!
did not see that one coming.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Pokemon Sun is brilliant.
Are you lying? Or
I'm not lying at all. They took a beaten down old concept that they've beaten to death over and over and over again, actually provided something new. They actually took their beaten down old concept, it basically remixed it and made it feel fresh again. You know, they took out gym battles and they replaced it with challenges and giant Pokemon attacking you. And it just felt like a different kind of focus. You know, you weren't, of course, you're still trying to be the best, and you're training your Pokemon and building your team. But it's the first time a Pokemon game felt different, and the story is actually really good. So that's also a plus. Like, they've tried forever to implement a well-paced story, and I think they failed in previous titles. They were close with Black and White, but not quite there. So yeah, Pokemon Sun, it was fantastic. It was probably my favorite game of the year. Maybe we'll get to that, but if it weren't for another game, but yeah, Pokemon Sun, it's fantastic. Love it.
Okay. Brad, do you have any opinions?
Everyone that's ever listened to this show thought, okay, well, we know Kyle's answer for favorite RPG.
Yeah.
But interesting. I'm glad Pokemon got the pick up there. My RPG, this is also should be no surprise to anyone that's listened to this show. It kind of stretches the definition of RPG, but it definitely is an RPG. I would say Dark Souls 3. There it is. Ooh. Dark Souls 3 is, again, kind of like Kyle. I'm not just saying this. Might be my favorite game overall of the year, but we'll get to that. But honestly, like, there's this Souls formula, right? A lot of the same elements show up in all these games: Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. But Dark Souls 3 really feels like the best version of all of them combined. Like, Demon Souls will forever be my favorite in the whole series, but Dark Souls 3 might actually be my official second favorite out of all 5 games, if you want to think of them all in one series. Mm-hmm. Definitely the best Dark Souls titled game. It's better than Dark Souls 1 and 2. I wouldn't say it's better than Demon Souls, but I would say it's better than Bloodborne. Yeah, it's just, the graphics are the best FromSoft has ever done. Honestly, the world in it is just the coolest. It's like a darker version of Dark Souls, which I know sounds really stupid because it's called Dark Souls. But this is like, right, this is like the bleakest version. And you would think, like, for a while, every game was like all down and dreary and Gears of War-y. But then for a while, games were like getting super colorful and fun. And it's like, I really like when games go back, especially RPGs, like the Dark Souls series. It just makes everything like horrible and apocalyptic and depressing.
That says a lot about you.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a dark, bleak, depressing person.
You have a dark soul.
I have a dark soul, if you will. But honestly, like, the bosses in Dark Souls 3 might be some of the best of the series, if not like the very best of the series. They just like fixed everything about, like, every little complaint throughout the series seemed to have been addressed in this one. It seems like literally the best parts of all the games combined into like one greatest hits, while still being like a brand new adventure. So I like completely dug it, and I don't replay games like ever. Like, the majority of games I'll play through once and just kind of never touch again. But the Dark Souls games, and in particular Dark Souls 3, is one that I've already had like 3 characters on, and I just have a blast like every time I run through certain areas. But yeah, that's my pick for sure.
Cool.
Very interesting. Well, for the sake of being obvious, I'll go ahead and say Final Fantasy 15 because it took 10 years
there it is.
for the damn game to come out. And what a game it is. And of course, you know, the continuing content being provided for folks, I think, is a clever way to kind of keep the hooks in for a little while. But anybody who's played it, and if you, I don't know if anybody on the show has, but it's the graphics are phenomenal. You know, the open world at the beginning of the game is really, really, really amazing. And something that we haven't really seen a whole lot of. We're very used to, I think, PlayStation 2 and even PlayStation 3, with the exception of Final Fantasy 14, which is really a little different. You know, very linear progression, right? There's a path. You have to follow the path. There is a story, but you don't have to follow the whole story if you don't want. You can go off and do side quests and take stupid pictures of stupid crap and have a good time. It's a little bit of a different approach. I still haven't beaten it because I don't have that much time with everything else that I play, and I'm playing a lot of stuff right now because everybody keeps giving me access to closed betas and other things, and so I just keep playing everything. But I'll get back to it eventually. But it's just enjoyable, really good, smooth, action RPG. A little bit of a departure from what we would expect from a typical Final Fantasy, and I've raved about it on previous shows, but I think it's a really, really good game. So the question then becomes, who wins?
Ooh. Well, yeah, this year actually had like a ton of great RPGs, I feel like. Like
Really?
even just the 3 we've just talked about.
I know. So I kind of feel like it's okay to say it's a toss-up.
Yeah, well, what's interesting is
Unless Kyle changes his vote.
all 3 of our games have been in like long-running series. I mean, Final Fantasy and Pokemon are a lot more long-running. But it's interesting that, there aren't like new RPGs that came out, right? Like they were all sequels.
Yeah.
That's like every video game ever. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I would have played Pokemon Sun and Moon now. I know Final Fantasy just isn't my jam. It's not for everyone. Like maybe someday I'll really dive into the series. It's just a series I haven't touched.
Yep.
15 does look cool because it is like action based more than it is like old turn-based styled, whatever,
Old school.
Old school. So that looked cool. Man, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to, because I haven't even touched either of those games. Like I haven't even seen any of them in person. Like at least with like Doom, even though I don't own it, I've at least played it and I've had my hands on that final game.
I'll tell you what, Brad.
What's up?
Just so it doesn't get the best RPG title, I'll change my vote to Dark Souls.
Yeah.
What?
I'll take it.
We'll come to that, Nick.
All right. Well, I have to play this damn music song, so hold on, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
There's the damn music. God bless America. Okay.
But seriously, Pokemon Sun is amazing. Anyway, let's go.
Great. Okay, so the next category is Best Platformer.
Did I play a platformer?
Right.
Honestly, I'm like, it's also okay to have null and void because none of us have a qualified opinion. But
well, I have a couple, but I'll wait.
No, I have nothing. So
I got one, but it's it's a side scroller. It's called Apotheon. I don't know if I've talked about that here before.
I played that game, but I hated it.
Oh, really?
It was a PlayStation Plus free game. We've talked about it on the show. Oh my god, you have to go back and listen like probably a year.
Oh,
I think it's
I got it on the Steam sale, but I guess it didn't come out last year, so it didn't count anyway then.
Whatever. It was a free game on PlayStation Plus. I think like maybe a year or two ago now, and it was 2 years ago because I remember we did it with Rob. It was like back in the first version of this show, kind of. I like hated that game, like hated with a passion. And it's funny because it seems like it'd be perfect for me. Like I love God of War and I love Greek mythology kind of things anyways. So I'm like, bam, I'm already in for like the setting. And I love 2D side-scrolling action games. I love like Castlevania. I love Metroid. And it's also got like a Dark Souls kind of vibe to it. And like so does, I mean, Dark Souls is kind of heavily inspired by Castlevania. But like it seems like it would have been the perfect game for me. Like Greek mythology, side-scrolling, Dark Soulsy, Castlevania thing going on.
And the art style is so cool on it.
It is cool. I do dig the art style. It looks like that Hercules when like
on the side of the pot.
Yeah, the side of the pot when like the girls are singing and whatever. Yeah, that's like the whole game. So it looks really cool. But just something about like the physics based and like the aiming, like you'd have these spears, and I swear to God, this is like PTSD for me. I remember.
Oh yeah, there's like 10 different kinds of spears.
Yes, right. So like I'm just imagining trying to get the arc of the spear right over and over and over for what felt like hours, even though it was like
you just gotta use a sword.
I guess, but like, oh, that game made me so mad. Like I remember playing this one boss and it was like some spider chick or something. I don't know. And like I just remember getting so mad. It was like impossible. I'm sorry if you like it. I mean, like obviously not everyone likes every game, whatever. But I just like hated that game, like with a passion. I couldn't stand it. I deleted it like an hour or two after I downloaded it. I was like, get this away from my
So what did you think about it,
Too
Newman?
difficult.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm sorry.
I enjoyed it for apparently all the reasons that Brad hated it. The PC controls were like hot garbage, but I mean, I've got the DualShock 4, so once I plugged that in, it was fun.
Hot,
That's
steaming
hilarious.
garbage. Wow.
Oh God.
All right, so Kyle loved it, or Newman loved it. Brad, you said you had a few.
Okay, so I've got a couple, but they're also going to be games that show up in other categories.
That's unfortunate.
I did play Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Was one of the very few. I think I looked at like full retail games I bought in 2016. If I'm not mistaken, I bought 3 video games that were not like downloadable size games, right?
Wow.
Like I got Dark Souls, I got Mirror's Edge, and I got. Did I get anything else? I got Rez with the VR, which isn't really. It's a downloadable game. See, maybe those are the only 2. What am I missing? Oh, Last Guardian was so late in the year.
Yes.
So like PS4 games, those are the only 3 like $60 retail sort of games that I bought. And I love the first Mirror's Edge, like one of my favorite games on PS3 and 360. And this one was like fun in so many spots. Like it had the actual platforming felt great. Like the frame rate was 60 frames and it like looked amazing. But just like the story was really dumb, like every video game it feels like. But then the big weird part of Mirror's Edge Catalyst was that they tried to make it this open world, which seems like it'd be a good idea to like run around a city on the rooftops. But it's just like doesn't work. Like I don't know. Like that's a game that really feels better as like a linear sort of level by level platforming style game. When you try to open it up all freedom, like it just gets boring because you can only run over walls so many times before it just feels like you're doing the same thing over and over.
What city does that take place in?
I think it's called the City of Glass. I don't know.
It's not New Donk City.
It's not New Donk City.
Oh my
We
God!
have
Shut
that
up. You two, I can't wait because when the Switch does come out and I have it and I'm playing it and I have nothing but great things to say, you guys can kiss it.
Yeah, so then Mario's not
much.
coming
Donk
out
City.
for Christmas.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
amazing.
Mario-
It's gonna be amazing. You guys are both gonna miss the boat. So, yeah, calling it now.
Oh, but I do have one final answer for best platformer, and it ties into what I think we should just talk about the next category with best indie game. I'm going to go with the game Inside. 2D side-scrolly, sort of a platform, but kind of like a puzzle platformer. Played through that whole game in a day or two. It's a rather short game, but really loved it. I thought the art style was like really cool. I've talked about it on the show, but that's also up there for like game of the year for me. It's just so creepy and weird, but like the controls feel so perfect. There is minor amounts of actual platforming where you have to climb over ledges and push blocks and yada yada yada.
Right.
But you really play a game like that for its atmosphere and very loosely, I would say, its story, because you try to just figure out what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's my favorite platformer of the year by far. Of the 2 I played, that one's better.
So, I heard. So what are we gonna go with for best platformer? Or we can just say meh.
I'm okay with the meh.
I'm just kidding. Did anyone play Super Mario Run?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
You're the only one with an iPhone, aren't you?
Nick has an iPhone.
No, not
Oh.
anymore.
Oh, not more.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yep.
Don't bring it on a plane. It'll.
No, I don't do Samsung. They're junk.
True.
Hey, buy
Everything-
this phone with 8 gigs of bloatware because you want it. How about no?
My favorite.
They're
thing.
affordable.
This is true. iPhones are affordable. You get an iPhone SE. It's what I
It's
got.
at the same
For
price.
$50
It's
a
just
month.
like-
Yeah, just wait till they come out with the new one, the new $1,000 third version option that some idiots, Brad Wallace, will purchase, and I can't wait until it blows up in your pocket or something. It's gonna be
That blows
amazing.
up. I'm really over big phones. I wish we would all go back to small phones. Like the 7 Plus is just ridiculous. The 7 is even too big for me. That's why I got the SE, because it's like
so many comments, so little time.
Yep.
Okay, so I heard 2 mez. Kyle,
I have no input on this subject whatsoever.
that is a mez.
I didn't play it, but Ratchet and Clank is supposed to be good. On PS4, the remake.
So
We should
unfortunately,
put up a poll for this one. Is what
yeah.
we should
So
do.
unfortunately for best platformer, the winner is meh.
Wait, can we
In
do
other
can
words,
we do a
video
Twitter
game
poll on
publishers
this, though?
get on platformers
Now-
because they sucked in 2016.
Now, to be fair, like 2017 has some like big platformers coming out, so
Oh,
I think
for sure, yeah.
we'll have a bit more of authority on this subject
Yeah,
next year.
Nintendo.
I'm so ready for ukulele. I'm
Ukulele?
so ready.
Yeah,
that is like-
ukulele.
Right, check that
I
out,
can't
too.
wait till it breaks your hearts and ruins your existence, both of you.
I don't know. It
Maybe
looks so...
the second Mighty Number 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was always scheduled with my number 9. My number 9, no, that was doomed. I
Yeah, way too much hype for the game. Okay,
Yeah.
the next category is best action adventure game.
Woo!
Brad.
Woo! All right, so I kind of have one answer for this.
Go
I'm
on.
gonna go with The Last Guardian.
I'm
Whoa.
shocked to hear you say that because you like
Whoa, what a
dog,
twist!
chicken, bulls with blood on them.
Yeah, well, you know, it's really the only. Like I've said in my original kind of review of it a couple episodes ago, maybe it was last episode. I don't know. Like the last episode I was on, it was like 2 months ago. I'm sorry, but it's like the only. It feels like a PS2 game that's released in 2016. You know, like they don't make games like that anymore. Every game now is like XP meters and boost ups and unlock with Mountain Dew code red and like blah 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 and like this one just feels like
the
a game.
fuel.
A game, you know. But like they don't make games that are just like beginning, middle, end, fun, like story, action, adventure games anymore. Like I don't know. It just was
It's
like the best.
future.
It's like the future. I don't know, right? Like Overwatch is amazing, but like you know, so many games are going for esports and like all this stuff, all these
And
heads up
Twitch
displays, with, like,
playability.
right? All this stuff, and like man,
Don't
The Last
forget
Guardian.
DLC.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, this is just a standalone game. You buy that game, and it has an ending, and you're done with it, and it's amazing.
So aside
That's
from
my
that,
thing.
you love it.
They don't make enough action adventure style games, like third person.
I totally
move
agree.
a camera around. Like, that's like my favorite genre of game. Like Zelda, kind of firmly is in that category, right? It's
Yes.
not really an RPG, but it's just an action adventure game where you go through levels, and it's semi open, but like
It's got an
you
amazing
also have a
ending
structure. Yeah.
and a great story. I can't wait for that damn game to come out. Weeks away, dudes.
Oh, God.
Weeks
So
away.
close. So close. But yeah, I can't even think of any other similar style actiony adventure games.
I can't
that
either,
came
and to
out.
be perfectly honest with you, I think it deserves it just because it took forever to come out.
Yeah, and it's amazing that it came out, and it's amazing that it is as good as it is. Because that game could have been a disaster, and some people think it's a disaster, but that's because they don't get it, man.
You
Well,
just don't get it.
No, well, Brad gets it because it's dark and like his soul.
Oh no, that game is like. I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I
not
didn't
cute.
cry at the end, but like it really did get me emotional. I was like, oh man.
Oh, that's
I won't
cute.
spoil the ending, but like, oh, it made my heart melt.
Well, it's like
As you
all
can
those
imagine.
games from that developer. They're all weird, twisty endings.
Yeah,
Like Shadow of the Colossus, great ending.
yeah.
Oh, God.
As much as I like Shadow Colossus, I honestly think Eco and even Last Guardian is even better. Eco is probably my favorite of that trilogy.
No one else is talking.
whatever.
Well, I
didn't say
gave you
like
a I
Shadow.
gave you a solid 20, 30 minutes on one of our previous shows to sell me on The Last Guardian, which of course you failed to do, but
It did just get a price drop because
I did
I
see
guess
that.
it wasn't selling so
maybe,
hot.
maybe when it's the $2 holla special, I might go after it, but
Is that a thing?
it might
The
be. I don't
$2
know,
make
$2
a holla.
holla? I'm pretty sure it is. Shut up, Newman.
Well, you know,
I'm sorry.
God.
sorry.
It's like the one time he talks in 10 minutes. Shut up.
How dare you?
Oh,
How
dear-
dare
dear
you?
God, he's such a dick. Okay, so anybody have any other input on action adventure games?
We suck.
No, we don't, because by default, music. The winner is The Last Guardian. Boy, that was great. Such robust rancor and debate. The vitriol around this room is worse than the U.S. Senate. Okay, next category is Best Indie Game. I actually have things to contribute, but we'll start with... Who wants to go first?
I'll just say that my pick is the same as it was for platformer, and that would be Inside. And that's all I have to say about that.
Kyle?
I'm not really sure if this is an indie developer. I've never heard of the company, so like, I don't.
Probably a good chance.
They're called Axis.
Okay.
And I already kind of gushed on this in a previous show way back when I still was on this show.
You still are on this show.
I'm listening to you talk right now on the show.
But we're fortunately hearing him because of microphone catastrophe, but yes.
Anyway, I think it was the last time I was on this show. I kind of gushed a little bit about the Zero Time Dilemma.
Oh, yeah.
Escape series. And, I mean, just to kind of like, I'm still sold in the series, and it's definitely like a great game, and it's definitely my pick. But we'll get more into why. We'll get into other things later about it. All I'll say about it is still fucks with your head. Sorry.
Nope,
Excuse me.
all right. Woo! Explicit.
It's a head trip game, and I love these games. They keep me up at night. They scare the living crap out of me and make me question my own existence. And that's the kind of game the kind of game series this is. And it's pretty great. And yeah, it's just I'm not gonna speak too much about it right now.
Okay.
I have more to say about it later.
I dig.
So, Newman, do you have any indie games that you may have dabbled in?
I really liked Block Hood, which is, I mean, it's kind of like a Sim City where your space is like extremely limited, and it's got this like blocky sort of art style. And then they give you a goal like, oh, you need to have like this much electricity, but no more than this much pollution. And you have to figure out like how to budget and how to get your other resources that you need.
How eco-friendly of you. It sounds like a very green game.
It is a very green game.
How many carbon credits did it take to make it? Do you know?
I don't.
I'm totally kidding. So I mean, is it just a bunch of different levels? You just progress through it, or?
Yeah, and then there's also like a sandbox mode, but I just went through like all the challenges.
So you
I think
beat
there's
the game,
like
quote,
20. I did like 15 of them in like 5 hours.
Oh wow! So did you quote beat it, or?
I have not yet.
Beat it.
Yeah.
What?
So how many comments? A little time.
Maybe I'll go back and do that tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I'm gonna beat it tomorrow. What?
Yeah.
Kyle already dropped the F-bomb.
Gutter.
Swear.
Let's just
Who else would do
swim
it
in
but
the gutter
me?
like pigs. Like pig. Okay, so that's right. I started it. There were 2 games, and one of them just escaped me, and that makes me upset. Oh, so the first one was sort of like the underwater version of Journey called Abzu, and I talked about it on a previous show. Similar developer, same composer, that cool ambient, weird, kind of doesn't make sense story until you get to the end, but a real quick play that you can replay over and over and over again. Lots of fun.
What's funny is that Abzu is also what they call it when all of us get together with our shirts off. It's an Abzu. If you okay, I'm sorry, you guys. That was awful.
So first of all, nobody needs to see this. Trust me, that left me many years ago. It's called Kids.
Abzu. Okay, guys, Abzu.
It's like tickets to the gun show. But
the Abzu.
but the best indie game in my opinion was Firewatch.
Ooh, fire.
Yeah.
Love.
Was it this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was the year
It was
before.
a February 2016 game, I believe.
What
It
do you
was-
know anything?
Amazing.
September 21st, 2016 on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC gaming systems.
Terrific game, and I know that if Rob Hugh were here, he would probably also agree with me that it is a great game. I'm channeling him right now. But just because of the incredible storytelling, the kind of the fun graphics. I mean, there were parts in that game where I literally shit my pants so many times because of unexpected things.
Wait,
really,
you literally shit your pants?
I mean, it happens at my age.
You literally shit your pants.
Literally. I'm pretty sure, didn't
You-
somebody say that the word literally died in like 2014 or something before you described
well,
something?
It literally did.
It literally did.
So you're playing this game, just peaceful Nick sitting there at home,
Yeah,
Literally
and then
just
like
playing this
Saturday Night Live, I'm glad I had my oops, I crap my pants on.
and he shit his pants,
Oops,
just
I
flat
crap my
out,
pants.
like just flat out shits his pants.
They
Right
had
Yeah.
to throw the couch out.
Is this Gamer Feed Radio or the Aristocrats?
Or the what?
The Aristocrats.
The greatest movie of all time, the greatest joke of
There's
all.
nothing worse than an infant just blowing out their diaper right on your lap, man. I'm just telling you. It's the
Oh, wow.
best.
Said the couch about Nick sitting on him. There's nothing worse.
God, I had this small size. Oops, I crap my pants. I needed bigger.
Just laughers with shit.
Oh my god.
So what you're saying is, right? This game is the shit.
Ba-doom. Yeah, it's
Wait, Brad.
oh
Yeah,
god.
Well,
Yep, it's the
the game
Hershey's
did look
Squirts.
okay. It kind of looked like one of those you walk around while a story's told to you game, which is fine. I like that kind of game.
Yeah, the way that it's done right over walkie-talkie, and you've got different objectives, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and it gets really dark. It's really interesting, Brad, because it's such a U game, because it gets really, I mean, despite its pretty
I
colors.
might check it out sometime. Yeah,
Dude,
I
it's
would-
really dark. And, I think it's super discounted right now, actually.
Ooh.
So it might be, or it was at the holiday for sure. It was like 80% off or something ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I like the art style in particular. It's like super kind of bold, sunset.
Yeah, and the story is complete opposite until
Interesting.
later on in the game, and things start to kind of join parody. But the story is very mature. It is definitely not a kid's game. It's a mature story. Quite good. But anyway, that was my pick. So we heard a lot of crap. What does everybody think? What game do we want to give best indie game?
Ooh.
Firewatch looked interesting to me, so I'll side with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll give you that. As much
What?
as I loved Inside, I just don't feel like fighting for it, which I think says a lot about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight for Blockhood.
Yeah, it's like
I will
those
throw
are my
out
picks.
Orwell though. If you guys heard of that one?
I have not.
That was another good one where basically you play as an NSA agent. There's a terrorist attack, and then you have to search people's Facebook to figure out who did it.
Whoa.
Interesting.
How like life. That's amazing. Well,
Like actual Facebook?
No, it's got its own weird name. I think they call it just like Timeline or something, but it's like pretty clearly Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
and so, wait for it, cue the music. The winner for Best Indie Game is Firewatch! Woo! Okay, so, next on the rundown is Best Console Showing. So by that I mean not, PlayStation 4 Pro came out. That's not what I'm necessarily talking about. I'm saying which console had the best gaming bang for your buck in 2016. Obviously,
I think
the
we're all
Wii
going to be
U.
in agreement here.
Yeah, obviously the Wii U took a big poo, and that doesn't count.
I was about to say the Nintendo Wii U. Best game showing of the year.
Oh my god, that
Okay, I know this
screen
didn't come
dough.
out
That
like
screen
this
dough.
past year, but the Dreamcast.
Guys, hear me out. The Nintendo GameCube.
Wow, lunchbox.
That would actually be a good one because you
Lunchbox
get Metroid and Smash Bros.
Yeah,
and all those other
right?
things.
Great lineup.
Double Dash.
You know what? Sometime we should have a podcast or a show where we have to. It's like we all bring a console, or we like basically argue what's the greatest console of all time.
No,
We
we
all
all
have a-
just talk about how great the Nintendo GameCube was.
It's just a 2-hour show about how much we love.
Oh my god, I
GameCube.
love the limited edition platinum version. Oh my god, it was great.
The one that came with the Zelda Collector's Edition? Hell yeah.
Yes. Oh my god, I still have that game in the case.
Gosh, and then there's the attachment at the bottom for the Game Boy, like the Game Boy Advance one on
Yeah.
it.
I totally had that.
I still have it, but I don't know where the disc is for it.
I literally
Shoot.
think GameCube is the greatest system of all time.
It was fun. Faux show. So
Oh,
that is for a
Anyway.
different show.
Anyway.
Badoom. So best console showing. So since
I think we
Newman
all
is
have
the
to say-
lone PC guy here, state your case, Newman, or we're all voting PlayStation.
Yeah.
State my case, like just the number of games
What I'm
and
going to
like
need you to do is go on Twitter and in all caps tell us your pick, and we'll just agree with you because it's in all caps.
I mean, I could make a case for PC gaming, and that is you get to play online with other human beings and not pay $50 a year for it.
free.
That
Wow.
alone is pretty
For my
much
own
like,
internet.
yeah, right. It's like, and you still also get significantly discounted games without the need for a subscription service through the Steam sales.
Also, I can do things other than play games on it.
You can literally do everything
That-
on the internet.
No
and-
comment. No comment.
Yeah, let's not
Processing
go into the details here, buddy.
Please.
Hey, let's just say we're talking bang for your buck.
I was gonna say like record a podcast or something, something silly like that.
That
But
is definitely not what Brad was oh, God.
Oh God, why?
Why?
My ears. They're in my poor ears.
I think my answer would be obviously PlayStation, but not just because it has the best games, but the fact that they went bold with VR, like other than Oculus and Vive, which are they required like obviously high-end PC equipment. The fact that I can do really good VR on my couple-year-old PS4 is pretty amazing. So for that reason alone, I think PlayStation should get a big old tip of the hat. But yeah, that'd be my pick for sure. Would be PlayStation, but with specifically their focus on VR was like game changer.
Well, you'll get zero disagreement from me here. No one wants to hear about any of Newman's PC peripherals. And
I was gonna suggest a category like your favorite accessory that you got this year or something.
dear sweet Jesus, I don't want to know what they put on USB 3.0 nowadays for PC. So that having been said, by default,
I
dramatic
think we all.
pause.
I think,
PlayStation. Good on you, buddy. Thanks.
Good on you.
Oh,
They're the only
okay.
thing- All right, so before we get to Game of the Year, we have to go negative because Kyle's on the podcast, and he suggested that we talk about the worst game of 2016 and our biggest disappointment. We'll try to keep them separate because the worst game may not necessarily be the game that disappointed you the
Well-
most.
We should do disappointment first.
Okay, fine. We can do biggest disappointment first. Go, Kyle.
I'm coming back to Zero Escape because overall I was just really disappointed with Zero Time to Limit, the last game, the supposed last game in the series. They're supposed to tie everything together. They tied nothing together. I have more questions. Help me! I'm losing my mind. I need to know more. And yeah, I just want to get that out real quick. Really.
So wait. The
Interesting.
same game that you put up for best indie game you said was your biggest disappointment.
Well, it's entirely a story-based game, and if the
True.
ending sucks, the ending sucks.
Well, okay, so
Yeah.
I get that. So, good hype on you, but you blew the
It-
ending.
Puzzles and clicking A to advance dialogue. That's all it is. Like,
Hey,
so, yeah,
it sounds like a day in Newman's house with the PC. But anyway,
right?
speaking
Yeah.
of Newman and his PC peripherals, so talk to us, Newman, about any game that you were super stoked about that turned out to be an epic disappointment. And please don't say anything inappropriate.
No Man's Sky.
Oh,
I was
Yeah,
like
great
excited.
choice.
I was excited to like be able to watch people play, figure out how it works, and then like jump in when there was a price drop. But it took them forever to do price drop, and it was so bad that the memes about how bad it was got old. So it was like
Yeah.
a double whammy of disappointment.
No, yeah, you don't even like hear
Uh,
about it anymore. You don't hear it. Like,
No, the
I
game's
haven't-
dead, man. The game's dead.
I haven't heard the name No Man's Sky probably in like
yeah.
4 months.
what's so funny is right. That's still a game that if it were like $10, I would jump on. But like,
No, you wouldn't.
What is that down to? I saw it for like 35 on a sale a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
man, the poor developers of that game just got dragged through the mud. Like they just got annihilated.
Well, they didn't deliver on what they said.
I'm not saying people don't have a point. I'm just saying like what a cluster. Like it's completely insane.
Yeah, it's still $60.
Oh
Cluster
my god!
things in the game. There's nothing. You can't cluster things if there's not anything to cluster. There's nothing in the game.
Well, you can cluster all of the completely useless materials that you can gun zap from planet surfaces and then do nothing with them because that's what you do in that game. I mean, it's basically like the worst of WoW being like a miner where you like have to go out and find special. I'm going to go get the mining so I can level up. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I hope I just offended a lot of WoW people.
I didn't play the game, but I watched my friend plays it who still defends it. I'm just like, this is, I don't know. What are you doing?
Pretty sure the Brad Wallace technical term is garbage.
I loved flying around and just like mining space rocks in EVE Online when I played that, but like I don't know, you actually got to go somewhere and there were other people in the game.
Yeah.
You know,
it was like a process to find everything, and it was like that made it rewarding when you finally mined the moon rocks or whatever.
I don't know, man. I never really
moon rocks.
I never really pictured you, Newman, as a as a rock game guy. Did you have like one of those tumbler sets when you were a kid, you know, where you get the rocks and you put them in like the little set that your parents would buy from the museum and it would like shake and then what do they call those?
They'd come out shiny?
Yeah.
No. We had geodes though that we got to break open and then have a little crystals or whatever.
Geodes are totally legit and cool, but rock tumblers are lame. Lame. Because you don't know what you're going to get in a geode, right?
Right.
Totally awesome. Okay. Brad.
What's up?
Biggest disappointment.
Biggest disappointment, I already talked about it. Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It wasn't bad. It just was disappointing because it had so much potential because the first game was so good. And the fact that this one would be like more powerful hardware, 60 frames, like all this amazing stuff. And then it's just like the boring open world where it's just like all these white walls and, you know. What I'm saying is we really need to make that game New Donk City. That's the missing ingredient. Once you get New Donk City, first person running Mario's Edge.
I can't wait till you end up buying that game, Brad, and you're just gonna be like, "This is so stupid. I was wrong."
I'm too dumb.
I can't wait because you've done it before, and you say it just like that.
I know.
I was
the odds of me getting a Switch this year, honestly, are not looking good. Just because, you know, I don't know. I'll get one when Animal Crossing comes out.
Oh,
well,
that's
no.
It's gonna come out on your iPhone first, dude.
Instead of having to like call around everywhere.
And I'll wait until they drop the price $70 by the end of this year and go, we are so sorry that Nintendo Switch did not live up to, I don't know.
Lies.
Switch the price.
I don't believe you, and I think you're wrong. But we'll talk about that on our prediction show, which will be the next one. How wrong you are, Awata-san. Rip.
I know, I realized I was sort of doing an Awata voice, and I got sad. So I stopped.
Good.
Rip.
Good.
Rip.
Rip. You had the best. I'll never forget when we did that stupid Nintendo banana. Oh my god!
If you really wanted me to go full Awata someday, I could like spot
do a whole show on Awata.
Is it going to be offensive?
Well, nothing could be worse than their stupid presentation, dude. Oh my god!
I mean, it's not offensive because, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, for example, he's an Austrian man who learned English as his second language. So when people do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, is it really insensitive to the Austrians out there? No, it's just the way he says.
How dare you? Because
Iwata to Schwarzenegger.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god! I'm sorry. I just can't accept this. This is outrageous because we're in an outrage culture, and I have to be outraged. So I'm outraged. I'm gonna go comment on my Facebook page about it.
Year of Luigi.
I'm gonna go post on Facebook about how outraged I am about everything. Brad Wallace.
I'm sorry.
Ignorant. People are ignorant.
I mean, Brad Wallace is offensive.
True. He has a cuss word in 19 languages.
Well, I will also say shout out to Star Fox Zero. I didn't play it, but it looked bad. It looked really bad.
I'm changing my answer to Star Fox Zero.
Star Fox Zero.
I'm going to go ahead and vote for that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
all you had to do was make a control normally. That's all you had to do.
They can't do that. So wait for it. Cue the music. Worst, biggest disappointment of 2016 is Star Fox Zero. Is it sad that it was like the only game that came
I think
out?
it's got to be No Man's Sky. Come on.
All right, so worst game.
The British government had to get involved because the game was so bad.
Worst game of 2016. I'm thinking I hear Newman vote No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky would be the worst game, but that's fine.
Okay.
As long as we make most disappointing Star Fox.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so that's like record. Cue music. Worst game ever. I don't even know the titles anymore, and I'm not drinking. I wish I had an excuse. No Man's Sky. Horrible. Horrible.
The
Horrible.
21st century ET.
Absolutely frickin' atrocious.
Your fart noises are just like spot on.
That's because
Final
I have
Fantasy
this-
15.
I have this really nice microphone that has one of those.
That's a built-in fart button.
Yeah. It's got one
Like
of
a
those
toddler.
condenser.
It's so amusing every time I go.
It's got one of those condenser foam things on it. Anyway.
I don't know why.
Now I can't wait to go back and listen to it to see how good it sounds so I can use it as my own mouth sound effect going forward.
See, the rest of this podcast is
But then we won't get to hear it.
going to devolve into
You just have to
fart
listen to the
noise.
damn show, Newman. Fast forward. Okay.
This is like Rob's nightmare of what the show was going to be. Just fart noises.
I can hear Rob somewhere in the back of my brain going, "This is not production quality." I love you, Rob.
Right, that's not to say he's not right.
No, he is
say
right,
that-
but then again, you can only do so much with Skype and a bunch of idiots talking via internet of varying speeds, and
Sometimes
That
on
was
cell
kind of
phone.
ramped up at the end. That
yeah,
was like
pinch
Mario
it off
Kart,
at the
you had
end.
the speed boost and it kind of. All right. Oh God.
Okay, so that's where you laugh at the end of it. Okay, so all right, so the last and final category that will close out the show, God help us all, is our
Overwatch.
game of the year. Newman.
It's Overwatch.
For you, yeah, it is. Yeah, you might say that. Kyle.
It's also like the first game since like Halo 3 where I just know my friends are going to be online and I can just play with them anytime, which makes it so much better.
Yeah, that's
True that.
legit, and that they're doing the Blizzard thing where they keep up with it and stuff. That's just good.
Yeah.
It is an
Sorry,
excellent
go ahead,
contender.
Kyle.
Kyle.
I mean, mine's Pokemon Sun, but I could easily put in Overwatch. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Brad, give us the
have-
dark horse that makes everyone change their mind.
All right. So here it is. I haven't talked about it because it really doesn't fit into any other category yet.
Good, because if you effing say anything Metal Gear, you're dead.
I'm talking Metal Gear Solid 4. Came out in 2008, but it's my game of the year this year.
Metal Gear Zombies, just early award.
Oh God, never. The game doesn't exist. Metal Gear Survive. What? No. So, my favorite game is technically a 17-year-old game now, but it was released on the PSVR, and that would be Res Infinite. It's like the best thing I've played in VR, which that isn't to say I've played a ton, but between all the demos, all the full games I've played, which is now a couple, Res is just the best thing. Like, it's almost hard to compare it to like VR in general is hard to compare to like regular classic video gaming, but just like the immersion you get in Res VR, it's like the perfect game for it. Like the controls.
I think the tank game was better.
The tank game looks better, but like the design of Res even though it's this old game on Dreamcast and PS2, it just feels like it was made for VR. Like the way how precise the aiming is with your head is just like ridiculous.
That
Like, I'm
takes
saying-
talent. I'm pretty sure that takes talent.
when I'm aiming with my head is when I'm okay. I'm sorry. No. All right. Anyways, no, but I will disqualify Rez because technically it's a port. I will say the best new game that I played of 2016 would have to be Dark Souls 3. But that's also good. Not really surprising. I think every year that we've done this, which is now this is our third Grampies, I think Dark Souls 2 was probably my favorite in 2014. I think Bloodborne was my favorite in 2015, and this is my favorite in 2016. So,
well, at least you're consistent.
Yeah, well, they're freaking amazing. So
he is consistent.
Yeah, that's my pick. I think Metal Gear might have been 2015, but that is again the second least surprising thing you'll hear from me.
Well, the good news is that I seem to recall the last time we did this, it came down. I reserved all my opinion until the end, and I think if I recall correctly, I did a solid, and I switched at the last minute and agreed with Brad, and then we were able to convince Kyle, and then we all voted and agreed with Brad's Game of the Year, and I felt like such a good citizen at that time. But this year, because of all of the BS, you get nothing. No, I honestly, for me, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna be a total random and say what my Game of the Year would be, but I'm gonna vote different. I would say for me it would be Final Fantasy 15, just because it took so long. It practically single-handedly saved Square Enix for the year. I read an article the other day where they made back all of the production costs in the launch weekend.
The first 24 hours.
Or yeah, that's right, the first 24 hours, which is unbelievable. So for people who haven't played it or played the series or were stoked about the announcement way back and hung with it, or just the hype machine and the demos and everything else that Square did right that got it there, I'm going to go with that as my personal choice. However, I am okay with throwing my vote over into the Overwatch boat, damn you, Newman, because originally I hated the game. The beta was absolute crap. It was horrible. And I was like, man, if this is how the game is, I don't want to play this. I didn't get it. I was like, why am I having to escort this stupid car? Does anybody care? Is anybody checking the car? Well, then the game came out, and it was on super sale. And I thought, well, my brother and I picked it up for PS4, and, I mean, we play it almost every day now. So it's like, damn it. Damn you, Newman. So I'm gonna go with Overwatch. So let's count now. Let's go ahead and count. So Kyle gave his vote to Overwatch. Newman gave his vote to Overwatch. Nick gave his vote to Overwatch. And poor Brad, the Lone
Dark Souls
Island.
3.
The fruit stands alone.
There he is with his Dark Soul. Brad Wallace. So then wait for it. Cue music. Gamer Feed Radio's Game of the Year is Overwatch. Good on you, Blizzard.
Good on you.
Okay,
I
so
will say about Final Fantasy 15, which was would have been your pick, Nick. They are wanting to bring it to PC with mods like they did with Skyrim
yep.
way back in the day. So that's going to be early favorite for next year for me.
I can't wait until you get your hands on it and hear all about how amazing it is, and basically we'll never see you again because you'll probably be in an airplane 60% of your time, and the other 40% you'll be buried into the accessories at your PC. No comment. So
No, I'll be on the Nintendo Switch because my PC is going to have to stay at home.
oh, you're not going to take your baby with you?
No, well, I don't know.
who knows?
Maybe I'll rebuild
Right
it
now,
so I
I'm
have
just
one that can
hoping
fit in the
that-
suitcase.
Right now I'm just hoping that doesn't happen and you stay here and we can continue to harass you on a regular basis. Sorry, I'm selfish.
Well, you do it over the internet, so it doesn't
No,
matter where I am.
selfish.
Right.
Totally unselfish. I'm sorry. Proximity is really important to me. It's a weird thing. Anyway, no, that's cool. If you end up going away, you're damn right I will harass you and hunt you down. I am actually up there quite a bit for work, so we'll have to hit up, and of course I will buy all of the drinks.
Word.
I'm a nice guy like that. Okay, so that was all the things for the Grampies. Does anybody have any final closing thoughts? The next show, prepare, here it comes, are predictions for 2017. Lots has happened already in the first 6 weeks of the year. We have thoughts and opinions on those things and more. That'll be the next one. So be thinking to yourselves, we should be thinking about this for next time.
Indeed.
And stuff and things. So now I'm going to... but does anybody have anything else? No?
Final Fantasy 15 sucks.
So...
Oh, brilliant.
Kyle's an idiot. We're glad to have him. You should check out his group on Facebook. What's the group, Kyle? Do a shameless plug.
We're called Tag.
Tag.
Follow us at Tag the Band on Facebook.
Nice.
Indeed.
Nice, sir. That you should. Speaking of all of the things that I didn't say at the top of the show, you should follow us on Facebook, GamerFeed Radio, and on Twitter at GamerFeed Radio. iTunes, iHeartRadio, online, YouTube, subscribe, and a bunch of other things that are out there. Pick your favorite pod streaming service and subscribe to the show, and it will automatically notify you when our stupidity goes live on the interwebs. That's everything, kids. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you agreed or disagreed, don't tell us about it, because we don't care what you think. It's our opinion, darn it. And thanks so much for playing. Until next time, gamers. Peace.
Bye-bye.